Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about very popular sandals. They are the Tory Burch Miller sandals. They've been around for many years. They continue to be extremely popular, and I did want to talk about them. I've got a full review, I have the pros and cons, and I also have a little warning for you in case you are planning on buying these online. So let's just get right into it. So my Miller sandals are a couple years old now. They're right here. I did buy them from a local boutique. I saw them, I loved them, I had to have them. You know I love my shoes, and I decided to pick them up in this beautiful blue color because I thought it was a little bit different, a little bit special, something that not everyone would have. And also they came in my size, which was important. So you will get them in a very pretty pink and orange box, which you are probably familiar with. But right now the Miller sandals do come in a lot of different options, so I will talk about them in just a moment, but I just want to talk about mine in particular. All right, so as you can see, they are the blue ones. Now I've got them in a 6.5. My true shoe size is a 6.5 to a 7, and it really all depends on the style. Sometimes I size up to the 7, especially if it is a closed shoe, but with a sandal I can usually do a 6.5 pretty easily. So I opted for the 6.5, and the features of it, of course, is this big round emblem right here. It also has the little knobs of hardware there. You will find the Tory Burch emblem on the sole as well. And then the bottom is sort of this rubbery material, and they are very, very flat. So that's one thing about them that you should be aware of, is they are extremely flat. You can see that this is probably like not even a half an inch from the heel to the base of the shoe. I would say that's probably like 3/8 of an inch. So it's very flat, even flatter in the front. So if you don't mind a flat sandal, this would be the one for you. There is a little bit of padding in the footbed, around the toe, around the heel, even in the arch. So I do have to say that when you put your fingers on it, it is nice and soft and squishy to the touch. Now, that said, when I am wearing them, I don't necessarily find that they are squishy to walk in. I do find them to be very flat and not very cushiony when I'm walking in them. But you can pick these up in loads of different colors. So since they've been around for so long, they are an iconic part of the Tory Burch collection, and she started making some new varieties of them. So now they have the square toe, they have the classic round toe, they do have a couple versions where there's multi-colors. Sometimes it's a print. They have some really wild out there kinds of prints, and then sometimes like the straps are going to be one color, the emblem is going to be another, and then the footbed is going to be a third color. So that's an option as well. There is a version with a metallic logo right in the middle. They're very, very pretty, but they do cost a little bit more. And right now they also have, I think they're calling it the cloud version. So it is a version with a completely different footbed. There's a cork version that looks an awful lot like Birkenstocks, and then there's also a version that must be some sort of a memory foam material. Again, I'm just speculating because I have not seen them in person, but they are much thicker and have like a thicker footbed here, and they give the Millers a completely different look than this one. So beware of those. So if you are looking on the website, you will see all of those different versions. The standard ones, the standard Millers, are going to cost you $198 from the Tory Burch website. The square toe ones, I think the logo ones, and also the cloud ones are going to be about $228. So that is the standard price for any of your Millers. Now there is a slightly different option, which they call the mini Miller, which has a mini logo here, longer straps as well, and they even have the tiny Miller, which has little Miller emblems across the top of your foot rather than the big one in the middle. So lots of different versions of the Miller sandal. So you can get them in many different colors. You can get them in many different leathers too. So they do have embossed leathers. I believe those are on sale right now, if I'm not mistaken. They also have patent leather, they have metallic leather, and then they have your standard leather, which is this matte leather like this, black, brown, reds. They do occasionally do some blues. I've seen some lighter blues now and then, and of course this royal blue is a couple years old because I have had these for a couple years. But you've got your options. There's many options with respect to the look of these Miller sandals. So that is definitely a pro. If you like the sandals, you are almost always going to be able to find them in a color that matches your wardrobe or matches your preference. And of course you can get the options with the footbed, you can get them with the square toe, etc. So you are going to have lots of options for your Millers, and that is a good thing. Another good thing is that they're pretty consistent with their pricing. I don't think that $198 is outrageously expensive. For some people, I get it and I understand it is a big investment, but when you price super high-end sandals like Louis Vuitton or Chanel or Gucci or Valentino, you know, they're in the hundreds and hundreds of dollars range. So these are pretty reasonable for a leather sandal. All right, as far as the cons go, so for me, these are not the most comfortable sandals that I've ever had. So I've mentioned that I have had them for several years, and really they do look pretty good. There is a little bit of wear on the toe area, which you would expect, but overall I don't think the bottoms are particularly worn out. There's not a lot of wear on the heel either. Let me see if I can bring them in so you can see them. And that is because I honestly don't wear them that much. I do like the look of them, and when I see them on other people, I admire them. But for me, I don't find them very comfortable. There is something about the way that the straps come down from the emblem. It is not secure enough for my foot. So most of your thong type, flip-flop type of sandals are going to have a strap that comes at a sharper angle, and it's going to end more like here. So let me show you an example. I should have had it ready, of my rock stud version of my flip-flops. So you can see that this one here, the angle of the strap is going to be very much different from the Tory Burch. It also meets the heel way back here versus the Tory Burch, which is, you know, about an inch closer to the front of your foot. And for me, that makes a significant difference as far as the comfort of the shoe goes. I have found myself walking right out of these shoes, and it drives me crazy, especially my left foot. I don't know what's up with the left foot. But I have gotten out of the car and taken a step and my foot has come right out of the sandal. And sometimes when I will be walking, whether I'm grocery shopping or just, you know, shopping around the mall or something, I do find that they have a tendency to want to fall off my feet. And I find them very insecure. And for me, that's a problem because I want my shoes to look pretty, yes, but I also want to be secure in them and I want to be comfortable in them. And I feel like when you buy a more luxurious pair of shoes that you should at least be getting that comfort factor, or at least the security factor, along with the pretty looks of the sandals. So sometimes there are beautiful shoes that you will just overlook that they're a little bit uncomfortable because they're a statement making shoe. I don't put these necessarily in the category of a statement making shoe. I think they're very pretty. I think they are really eye-catching, but I wouldn't necessarily call them a statement. And for me to not feel secure as I am walking in them, they just have this tendency to want to slide off of my foot, and I'm constantly gripping with my toes, which makes them uncomfortable and kind of drives me a little bit crazy. So I have to say that I definitely do not reach for these first because I don't feel like I'm going to be secure in them. I also feel like they're very flat compared to some other sandals out there. So for me, that is a huge con. So would I recommend these? I would have to say it all depends on your preference, and I would definitely recommend that you try them on if you can. So go to the store, walk around in them, and see if they will stay on your feet. Like they do not necessarily stay on my feet. And my last warning for you, and it's a big one, is if you are buying these online, be very careful. When you search Tory Burch Miller sandals, you will get a whole list of stores that sell them, including the Tory Burch website, obviously. They do sell them in Saks, they sell them in Neiman Marcus, I believe they sell them in Nordstrom. So all the big retailers are going to offer them. Shopbop has them as well. But if you do a little bit of searching, you might find yourself clicking on a website that is not a legitimate website. So I just want you to be aware of that. I actually was checking out the different prices of these millers, and I discovered this website that looked like the Tory Burch website. They had the Tory Burch symbol, the emblem up at the top of the page, and they were all Tory Burch sandals, and they were all marked down to $50, $49.99. And I'm looking at it thinking, why weren't these on the website before? And when I looked up at the URL, I discovered that it was not toryburch.com at all. It was some other random website with some other name, but they are trying to sell fake Tory Burch sandals. So be very, very cautious of that. They are, like I said, an iconic sandal. They are everywhere, and there are, of course, a lot of dupes and a lot of people who are trying to take your money and sell you something that is not legitimate. So absolutely double check the URL and make sure that when you are shopping that you are on a legitimate website, because there's two that I have found out there that are pretending to be Tory Burch and are not really Tory Burch. So be aware of that. Okay, so the bottom line with these sandals is that they are beautiful sandals. If you like the look of them and they work on your feet, I would say go for it. They are a classic. They're not going to go out of style, and now that they have these different iterations, you may find something that really suits you. But for me, I do have to say that they are not my favorite sandal for the reasons that I have mentioned. But if you like them, definitely do check them out. And I will leave a couple links down below, not the fake link, but the real link, so you can check out some of the different versions that they have available on the website. So that is it for my video today. I hope it was helpful for you. If it was, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. And don't forget to subscribe. So I will see you in my next video. Take care.